Section 2.4, Converting between the U.S. and metric systems. This video will help you convert between units of measure in the metric and UN system. As we move towards a more global economy, converting between the metric system and the U.S. system is becoming increasingly important. And so what I've given you here in this table is conversions. And so the first will take us from, the first one here will take us from the U.S. system to the metric system, and this first one here is miles to kilometers or inches to centimeters. So basically this first conversions here are used for distance. Now we don't need every single conversion between the U.S. and metric system. We just need kind of a crossover point. So if we're dealing with large distances, here would be our conversion that we would need, and then once we crossed over to the other system, then we could convert inside of that system. So we don't need to have them all listed. We just need to have a couple key points here where we can cross over between the metric system and the US system. So here's one for distances, here's one for volume. We have a quart to a liter, and then also another one down here for volume, a fluid ounce to a milliliter, and then finally one here for weight. Now let's take a look at some examples that will help you understand how to convert between the U.S. and metric system. So let's see, example 1 here, we're asked to convert 6 miles into kilometers. Well, the way we're going to do this conversion is very similar to the way that we did conversions inside the U.S. system. I'm going to take this original unit here, which is 6 miles, and write it as a fraction. So I got 6 miles. I'm just going to put that over 1 to write that as a fraction. Now I want to multiply by a conversion fraction, just like we did before in the U.S. system. And so this is going to make my conversion fraction here, the fact that 1 mile equals 1.61 kilometers. So I want to multiply by a conversion fraction here, and I want to divide out the miles. So I'm going to put miles down here in the numerator, and then kilometers up here in the miles down here in the denominator, kilometers up here in the numerator. The reason I'm doing that is so these miles will divide out for me. And let's see, 1 mile then is 1.61 kilometers. So taking a look here, you can see that my units of miles are going to divide out nicely for me. And then all I have left to do here is to multiply. So I'm going to take 6 times 1.61, and that is going to give me 9.66 kilometers. Example 2. Convert 10 liters into quarts. So okay, I'll write 10 liters over 1 times, now I want to make sure I put liters down here in the denominator and then quarts up here in the numerator. And my conversion then is 1 liter equals 1.06 quarts. So now I'm just going to go through, and you can see my units of liters and liters dividing out, leaving me just quarts. So I know I've got this set up right. And let's see, 10 times 1.06, all that's going to do is move the decimal 1 place to the right. So that's just going to be 10.6 quarts. All right, example 3. Convert 10 liters into quarts, but now use this other conversion. Notice this was 1 liter equals 1.06 quarts. Now we're going to use 1 quart equals 0.946 liters. So let's see, starting with 10 liters again. All right, that is a fraction. I still want liters down here. I'm still converting this into quarts. So I'm going to put those up here. And my conversion now is 0.946 liters is 1 quart. So let's see, going straight across the top now, look at my liters are going to divide out. And then I'll multiply straight across the top. So I'll get 10 quarts over 0.946. So basically here I'm just going to take 10 and divide by 0.946. So 10 divided by 0.946 gives me this as a decimal answer, 57, and then 0, and it continues on. But I want to round this, and so let's round to the tenths place. And you can see if I round to the tenths place here, I'll get 10.6 quarts. And that's the same as what I got up here. So you can see we only need really one of these conversion rates. Up here was kind of easier because we got to multiply by 1.06. We didn't need a calculator to multiply 10 times 1.06, but down here we did the division. So either way it works out, whichever conversion you want to use. Now we may get a little different or discrepancy between the answers, but as long as they're pretty close, Okay, go ahead and pause your video player now and answer these practice questions. When you're done, hit play to see how you did. Practice question 4. How many feet is a 400-meter track? So basically, what we're asked to do here is take meters and convert them back into feet. So I'd say, okay, 400 meters over 1. All right. And it looks like here, I want to make sure the meters are going to divide out. So I'm going to put those units down there, and then feet up at the top. That's what I'm converting into. Now look at my conversion here. 1 meter equals 3.28 feet. So you can see my units of meters are dividing out. So it looks like all I got to do is take 400 times 3.28. So 400 times 3.28 is 1,312, and that's going to be feet. Practice question 5. What would a 150-pound person's weight be in kilograms? So we've got a 150-pound person, so we'll write that as a fraction. 150 pounds over 1. We want to divide the pounds out and introduce now kilograms. And our conversion is this. 1 pound equals 0.454 kilograms. So all we have to do now is multiply 150 times 0.454, and we'll get 68.1 kilograms. All right. Question 6. What would a 50-pound person's weight be in kilograms? And now we're going to use this other conversion here. This one took pounds to kilograms. This one takes kilograms to pounds. So we're mixing it up a little bit. So 50 pounds over 1. We still want pounds in the bottom. We still want kilograms in the top. Except now we're going to use that 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Okay, so all we need to do now, basically, we'll get 50 kilograms over 2.2. So we'll do that division. And 50 divided by 2.2 is 22.7. So that's 22.7 kilograms.